నమస్కారం ఘంటారావానికి స్వాగతం. ముందుగా ప్రధానాంశాలు. ఇప్పటం గ్రామంలో మళ్లీ కూల్చివేతలు. గ్రామస్తులు వద్దని వేడుకుంటున్నా వినని అధికారులు. పల్నాడు జిల్లా రామకృష్ణాపురంలో కారును ఢీకొన్న లారీ. పాఠశాలకు వెళ్తుండగా ఉపాధ్యాయురాలతో పాటు మరొకరి మృతి. గుర్రపు డెక్కలు, పిచ్చి మొక్కలతో అస్తవ్యస్తంగా పంట కాలువలు. నీరున్నా వినియోగించుకోలేని దుస్థితిలో బాపట్ల జిల్లా రైతులు. ఆయిల్ రిఫైనరీ నుంచి ముడి చమురు దొంగిలిస్తుండగా పేలుడు. నైజీరియాలో 12 మంది దుర్మరణం, 5 వాహనాలు దగ్ధం. రష్యా 70,000 యుద్ధ నేరాలకు పాల్పడిందన్న జెలెన్స్కీ. అంతర్జాతీయ న్యాయస్థానంలో దోషిగా నిలబెడతామని స్పష్టం. విశాఖలో రెండో రోజు జరుగుతున్న అంతర్జాతీయ పెట్టుబడిదారుల సదస్సులో పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారం ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
Industry giants sitting on the stage, off the stage. Friends, good morning to all of you. There are few sectors Andhra Pradesh is doing good and will continue to do very well. Logistics, because of the long coastline. Green energy, because of the initiatives taken by the government. And pharmaceutical industry. These three sectors, Andhra is leading the country. In some cases, maybe leading the world as well. Why I am saying the pharmaceutical industry, this state will do very well. The state has several largest API factories in the world. I'm not talking about the country. World's largest API factories are located in the state. To name, Hetero Labs has a 500-acre complex at Nakapal. That is the world's largest API factory. Divi's has another 500-acre world's largest API factory. Aurobindo has another world's large-scale API factory. Dr. Reddy's has another integrated zero-discharge global-scale factory in Paidi Bhimavaram. And our company, Laras, also has one of the world's largest factory in Paravada. So, earlier, the combined state used to be called as a bulk drug capital of the country. Even after the states were separated, the Andhra still retained the leadership in the bulk drugs. So Andhra definitely is the bulk drug capital of the country even today. Maybe even in the future, maybe Andhra will become the bulk drug capital of the world as well. Why I'm saying, for example, I can give my own case. Our first team member we recruited in 2007, and today we have 8,000 team size right now. We grew from 1 employee in 2007, we grew to 8,000 by end of 2022. That was possible only because of the ecosystem available around the state and proactive government, proactive bureaucracy. As people were talking about the reachability of the leaders, both government as well as administration, I think they definitely deserve a big applause from all the industries who are operating from the state. And another factor here, I'll give a few examples why the state will continue to do very well. Along with us, many other industries produce 75% of the world HIV drugs are made in Andhra Pradesh. I'm not joking. 75% of the world HIV drugs are produced in Andhra Pradesh. Maybe diabetes drugs, cardiovascular, many other drugs Andhra produces lion's share of the drugs what world needs. So this state, I'm sure, will continue to do very well in the pharmaceutical sector. And this pharmaceutical segment, I think there is no need for state to market. I think they have done exceedingly well. I think if they put more industrial areas, more investments will come. If you write 10 big names of pharmaceutical companies in the country, they have their operations in Andhra. That is the way this pharmaceutical sector is growing, and I'm very glad that we have committed to invest further in the pharmaceutical sector here. Not only in the pharmaceutical API sector, we also have a formulation factory. We are also planning to invest in fermentation in Vizag. So our investment, our commitment will continue to be there for the state. And I wish the government as well as the administrators for doing such a great job. And another advantage for the state is leading in digital drive. That is helping in the decision-making process much faster, much transparent. Even in the drug controller applications, and also we get approvals much faster than many other states elsewhere. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to continue to invest in the state and be part of the growth of
Union Cabinet Minister Kishan Reddy Garu, other cabinet ministers, bureaucrats, eminent personalities from industry, and other esteemed guests. I am honored to be here today. Today in the pharmaceutical sector worldwide, it is well known that India is playing a leading global role, and Andhra Pradesh continues to play a significant role to achieve this status. Post-pandemic, as more countries look at India as a partner of choice in pharmaceutical sector, Andhra Pradesh is an established ecosystem. Under the leadership of late Chief Minister Dr. Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy Garu, the pharmaceutical policy has been established to initiate Visakhapatnam as a pharma hub. This initiative is pharmaceutical companies. Hetero Group is a 2.5 billion enterprise engaged in pharmaceutical products globally. Hetero is one of the beneficiaries of the AP government pharmaceutical policy. Hetero has its largest manufacturing campus spread across 500 acres in Nakkapalli, Visakhapatnam, which was built over the last decade with an investment of over 2,500 crores. We employ today about 10,000 employees directly and indirectly in Andhra Pradesh. Hetero supplies about 40% of global HIV medicines, and all of these manufactured in Andhra Pradesh. We have also committed our CSR initiatives in collaboration with Government of Andhra Pradesh in education sectors such as Nadu Nedu program by adopting about 400 schools. I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Minister for constant support and encouragement for our company to work here. We are committed to Andhra Pradesh and will continue to expand our presence here. We will be investing about 1,000 crores in Andhra Pradesh over the next 2 years to grow our pharmaceutical and specialty business. This will generate an employment of a minimum of 3,000 people. Under the able leadership of our Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy Garu, the pharmaceutical has significant investment and employment opportunities. I thank you for giving me this opportunity today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Someone who will be talking about how the state has continuously supported investor companies in their business journeys here. I'd like to invite the Chief Executive Officer of Saint-Gobain, Asia Pacific and India, Shri Santhanam B, for his address.
Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Union Minister, Honorable Ministers of Andhra Pradesh, fellow industrialists on the dais and off the dais, it's a huge privilege to represent the Saint-Gobain Group here. We really thank your government for that. But I'm not going to talk about what our company is doing, and I'm going to really talk about why anyone in their best mind will consider investing in Andhra Pradesh. You saw what happened yesterday. Unbelievable amount of investments by very large industrial companies are pouring into what at the core Andhra Pradesh offers. Andhra Pradesh offers an ability to make products and solutions in a sustainable way. If you saw that investment that are pouring in the renewable energy space, that gives you a tremendous amount of confidence for companies like us, because our purpose is to make the world a better home. But after listening to all the speakers, as well as listening to one of the speeches by the Honorable Chief Minister on sustainability, I'm here to conclude that Andhra Pradesh is probably will make the world better and have all of them be at their be a home for almost all the multinationals and large companies who really want sustainable manufacturing. And that really gladdens the world because as one of my previous speakers spoke, Mr. Mittal spoke about how it is important for large global corporations to consider sustainable manufacturing as the linchpin in their strategy. And we are committed to that. So we are really happy that we are invested here and we continue to invest in this particular state. But why do we do that? I think the state has got what I call as 4 C's, which are very important. Firstly, it's a very competent state. I mean, the whole world is run by people from the Telugu diaspora. So we know the people of Andhra Pradesh are extremely talented. But I want to add one little thing which we discovered after coming here. Many of us are committed to diversity. That essentially means we want more women working in our manufacturing and other operations. But what I'm really happy is that we're able to find high quality technical talent, engineers, diploma holders and others from the state, and we're able to employ them in our manufacturing. So when you really look at competence, just don't look at the fact that you have a lot of people, but you really have a lot of talented women engineers in the state. And in fact, the state is home to some of the engineering colleges which are exclusively focused on women. The second area where I believe it's very important is commitment. And I can tell you that we invested during the COVID period. And during that COVID period, it was extraordinarily difficult to make investments and to do many of our projects. I think the Industries Department and the support from the Chief Secretary and others, we were able to do this following very strict protocols. We were able to complete the factory well in time. And I would say that the factory is running exceedingly well, and we are committed to more and more investments in the same site. So that's an extraordinary amount of commitment. And during this period also, we had one challenging issue. And when we talked to the Industries Department, and there was a lot of support to solve that issue. When we talk about ease of doing business, it's not just ease of doing business at the time when you are coming in. You know, it's not just like in the marriage you do everything, but it's really ease of doing business when you're running the business here. And that's where I think Andhra Pradesh excels. The third area of C that I talk about is credibility. I can tell you that based on our experience, Andhra Pradesh walks the talk and it talks the walk. You know what exactly you are getting. You also know that you will get it in the time that has been committed. And so this is one of the important elements of credibility that I see. And the last one is, this is a state which has been continuously improving. It had a reasonable position in ease of doing business, but today it's a #1 state in the ease of doing business. #1 states in terms of logistics, port infrastructure. And today and yesterday, whatever investment that have been committed on renewable energy, I'm going to go back and say that this is a state where we can have 100% renewable energy powering our factories. So that essentially gives a tremendous amount of confidence. So be it competence, commitment, credibility, and continuous improvement, this is the state. So we continue to stay invested. I'm pretty much certain that every industrialist here, every house here thinks the same way. Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister. Thank you, the Industries Ministers and the officials in Andhra Pradesh for inviting us to speak at this.
Honorable and dynamic Chief Minister, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, Honorable Industrial Minister, Honorable Finance Minister, Chief Secretary, Special Chief Secretary of Industrial, delegates, officers, fellow industrial colleagues, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Sergio, this is my honor to be here representing Apache Crew in India. We are a Taiwan-based company, and Apache is pioneer in sport footwear, making industrial for the last 4 decades. Apache Group has operations in 3 countries, China, India, and Vietnam. And the biggest one is in India. We are exclusive supply partner to world-class brand Adidas. Apache India was established in 2006 in AP State. And so far we have 15,000 employees with $100 million investment. We are exclusive OEM to Adidas and 100% export to all over the world. I would like to make this change and share Apache India's successful story and witness to all of you that Apache is a prime example of ease of doing business in AP State. This was happened in 2006 itself, that Apache India could able to sign the MOU and start the first production in SEZ within record of 9 months, while Dr. YSR was CM, and the kind of support we received from government, including single window clearance, and government officials worked for us day and night to bring our industrial in record 9 months time, include getting SEZ approval from the central government. That time our CM's father, Dr. YSR, was CM, who was the visionary leader. And today, our CM and his government is transforming his visionary into execution. It's really happy to see and made our investment very worthy. AP government is also very active in listening from enterprise view and needs. AP State is rich in skill level of manpower with high maturity to adapt industrial culture. I would like to take this opportunity to announce that Apache Group has decided to continue to invest in AP State. And very recently, $100 million with 10,000 employment in Tirupati district. This new investment will focus technology in footwear to create the best world-class facility. I wish AP government and dynamic CM all my very best. And we are very confident as we are in good hands. Looking forward the journey together in this resourceful state where abundance meets prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for that. I'd now like to invite up our next speaker, the chairman of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Dr. Satish Reddy, sir. Sir, if we could have you on the dais.
Honorable Chief Minister Jagannath Reddy Garu, Kishan Reddy Garu, Union Cabinet Minister, senior officials of the government of Andhra Pradesh, my fellow industrialists from Andhra Pradesh who are on the dais, also various dignitaries who have come from across the world to this important event. I first wanted to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for inviting me to this very prestigious event for the state. Under his leadership, the state has grown from strength to strength. In various sectors, my colleagues from the industry have spoken, including the pharmaceutical sector, on how the state has been extremely good to us. So without taking too much time, I just probably want to touch upon 1 or 2 points, especially on the life sciences sector, of which pharmaceutical industry is a very important component. It's one of the best opportune times for the pharmaceutical industry. Currently, overall, if you see the Indian pharmaceutical industry, it's about $45 billion at this point of time overall, half split between exports and the domestic. It has a potential to go almost up to $130 billion by the year 2030. And in terms of taking advantage of this opportunity, there are two factors playing in at this point of time. One is clearly what we commonly keep hearing about China plus one strategy. A lot of companies post-COVID are looking to diversify, and India happens to be one such country where they're very, very keen because of obviously our history in terms of what we have done in pharmaceuticals, especially on the API front and also along the value chain. That's number one. Also, the recent Russia-Ukraine war has also caused more and more companies to look at India as an opportunity, especially for the services point of view. There's several opportunities again present along the pharmaceutical chain which we can look at. In this context, I think the important thing, especially for most of the delegates who have visited, is to look very closely at Andhra Pradesh as your investment destination. Because if you see the various things that are happening out, my colleagues from the industry have also referred to this, when it comes to ease of doing business, when it comes to the infrastructure, when it comes to the industry-friendly nature of the government, I think this is the best place to invest. Dr. Reddy's as a company has been here since a very long time. In fact, for the last 35 years, when we started as a company in 1984 in Hyderabad, my father at that point of time, the founder, Dr. Anjay Didar, my father, he was very clear that Hyderabad is a landlocked city. For the future of API manufacture, because we started as an API manufacturing company, he was very keen that we look at a place, and then he zeroed in on Vizag. So 1998 is when we started the first plant, almost 35 years back, and today it's almost about 500 acres of land that we have in Paidi Bhimavaram, and also we are present in the Duvada SEZ. Here's where we have set up almost 5 manufacturing units of the finished dosage, not just APIs. APIs, we have 2 large facilities, and we continue to invest in this state. There's, again, like I said, tremendous potential in front of us in what can be done. If I talk about ease of doing business, I especially would like to point out, especially the regulatory framework in this state, because we also deal with regulatory agencies, and that's exemplary in terms of very quick approvals, in terms of being industry friendly, and that's something we have gained. Also in terms of the administration from the government, all the approvals for most of the plants that we have put up, that's very, very easy for us. So in terms of the potential it offers, in terms of the ease of doing business, there's plenty that can be done. I just wanted to close not just about the opportunity that we have, but in terms of taking our industry forward, there is one thing which is about innovation. So far we have done well in APIs. There's an opportunity now coming up. On finished dosages, there is a lot of movement that has taken place, especially also investments coming in Andhra Pradesh. A lot of multinational companies have also set up here. But then I think the real value, moving from volume to value, it will all come from innovation. And that's where I think we again have a potential to lead, because we have an example of, the medtech zone that's being created. A lot of innovations come from there, but especially for life sciences, there's lots more potential that can come. So for innovation, I'm sure again Andhra can show the way. The last point again, I especially wanted to commend Chief Minister Jagannath Reddy Garu, because not just about the industrial climate, not just about the transformation of the state, especially when it comes to social indicators on the education front, and especially on the healthcare front, we are extremely fortunate. I was just mentioning to the Honorable Chief Minister that all of us remember his father, the late Dr. Y.S.R. Garu, Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy Garu, for the tertiary healthcare, the Arogya Shri program that he launched in the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, which benefited so many people, especially people who are here. I'm sure from the programs that he has started and he's about to launch, he can absolutely transform the remaining part of the healthcare, which I think is very, very crucial for the state, and set an example in the system. That's all what we look forward to. So once again, I thank Honorable Chief Minister for inviting me here today. Thank you very much.